This is our moment with Elul. I'm going to check to make sure.
Okay.
Take it away.
All right.
Let me know if you want me to blow the shofar.
All right. Good morning. I just got back from walking the dogs. To walking the dogs. So it's a blowsy morning here on the heartline, the omphalos, the belly button of America. And we're in the month of Elul. In the month of Elul, we start to introduce more of the vocabulary of the days of awe. We're drawn more into the orbit of the days of awe during Elul. So it's a good time to introduce more of the vocabulary of the days of awe. In the month of Elul, we amp up our language. On awe, we start thinking more about what we're entering, the seam that we're passing through, the seam in time, S-E-A-M. But it's time, so all seams are seams, S-E-E-M. It's not like something ends and something begins, it's continuous. Plus, we don't celebrate New Year the next year with noisemakers and shouts and candles. We celebrate it in an inner way. We do a transformative notion called tshuva. So we start talking about tshuva during the days of awe. And during this month of Elul especially, to introduce this notion because the notion is tender. And there's a lot to say about it and a lot to say that is not obvious and that maybe hasn't even been said before. So what I've been doing is I've been given over concepts of the days of awe in accessible ways and in imaginative ways during this month of Elul. So one of the common changes in practice for the month of Elul has to do with the Psalm 27. We pay attention to Psalm 27. We read it, we read it, we read it. We pray it, we think it, we meditate it. Psalm 27, but the connection between Psalm 27 and the days of awe is not entirely clear, and it wasn't really expressed. And there's some confusion about that, about how did this get connected with the days of awe anyway? How do we connect Psalm 27? So there's some research about it, and I can talk about that another time, some interesting things about it, and we'll do that in class. But for here, I took it upon myself to kind of retranslate it this year. To retranslate in the sense that it brings out some of the features of it from the language itself and some features of it that are extra linguistic, not from the language, but from the context of it, like what some of the commentators have said about it, how some of the commentators connected, and to play with the language a little bit in the sense that what might have been considered declarative, I made maybe interrogative, so that some things that might have been like expressed as a sentence, as a verse rather, I would put a question mark. Question marks aren't included in the text of the Psalms. But what if this was a question? What if this phrase was a question and things like that? Because mostly we're in the era, let's say in the Elul, the month of questions. The month of questions and ellipses. And that's our clue, I think, in this season. We are in the whole era of questions and ellipses, dot, 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 indicating we don't know what's to come, be right back. And isn't this always the way it is with time? As a seam, S-E-A-M, and as seam, S-E-E-M, ellipses is the appropriate punctuation. Dot, dot, dot. What's next? Be right back. And always as if to say, something's missing. So I'm going to read you my Psalm 27 that I played with and came up with and practice and use as a meditation. To David, whoops, what happened here? To David, I lost the thing, but I know I'm still on. It's okay.
You see it?
No, I think it's okay. To David, sweet singer, and the other sweetheart players. This is what's called an epigraph. It comes in the beginning, an epigram. We still use this notion in poetry. A little epigram at the beginning. It's not exactly part of the text, but it's interesting. And in the Psalms, it's interesting and mysterious. I'll do it again. Psalm 27, Kaf, Zayin, also significant. Read it the other way, Zach. Psalm 27, to David, sweet singer, and the other sweetheart players. Light on Rosh Hashanah, safe on Yom Kippur. Life and strength, I am not afraid. Fear could eat me up, camped around me adversaries. I have asked God one thing, a good searching out. A visit now and again in your house where you are hidden. To feel protected in the tents, beyond the rocks, hide me. I offer up my voice singing, do you hear me? Lead me to the inside story. You're not hiding, right? It's been a rough road. You can smooth it out. Around me, violence and emptiness, to see good in the land of the living. Strong in heart and brave. Patient. That's not too much, is it? Blessed are you, little babies, for listening to these holy words, taking them inside, chewing on them, ingesting them, digesting them, letting them find their way to the works of your hands. Amen. Amen.